Well, first of all, I have to say that the statistics do not lie. And if the Los Angeles County is doing its job, then you'd have to assume that the findings are true. Okay? Now, there's a lot of this that relates to over drinking and the alcohol problem in the city, but I want to get into the meat of the real meat here. Okay? The crime rate in our city is up 25% through the month of July. The crime rate in the county is down 13% through the month of August, year to date. All right? Now, in a recent council meeting, Councilman Michael made a comment to the chief of police. The increase really doesn't upset me. I think it just says you're doing a better job. And what I say is one crime in Hermosa is one crime too many. Okay? And I can tell you that the police respond terrific, because I did a ride around also on a weekend. The police respond very quickly to a situation. What we need to improve in, okay, is crime prevention. And I believe that if we support the police with the things that they need and have them work very closely with our neighborhood watch groups, that we can come up with plans on how to prevent crime in the city rather, okay, than solve the crime and react to the crime. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Michael?
Thank you, Al. I certainly believe the report. I think it's very instructive, and I think the more that we look at this data, the better we're going to be at making decisions in our community. I will say that my content, let's be clear. We had the chief of police this year. We gave him a grant of $20,000 over the last quarter to increase enforcement. As a result of that increased enforcement, his crime numbers have gone up significantly. That's a good thing. There's more people out there catching more people breaking rules. The direction I was given to him was, don't let the heat over the increased number scare you away from continuing to drive the crime out of town. That's the message I know he walked away. It's easy to turn that around, but that's what we want our chief of police doing. We don't want him to be shy about the number. We want him to continue doing everything he can to eliminate the crime in town. I will say one thing, the thing is we need to have the right practices of enforcement. I think since Chief Savelli has been here, we have been on a downward trend that you can see in every part of the community. And statistics always get tricky when you look at them. I'll just quickly mention one that I'm proud of, and I know our chief would be. Patch Magazine, Patch news outlet, just 2 days ago published an FBI report that included the 2010 numbers, which the report we're talking about tonight does not. And here's what Patch reported that the FBI said. 2009 saw a significant increase over 2007, 2008. It saw about a 30% increase. From 2009 to 2010, there was more than a 50% decrease in violent crime. The specific number, so that you're clear about it, is 83 to 40. That 40 number is lower than what it was in 08 and 07 as well.
Can you summarize, Mike?
I sure can. I think the point is we could the report is valuable. The statistics can be instructive. They can also be abused. We need to be giving our police chief, I'm committed to giving our police chief as much resources as he needs to continue handling the big and the small problems in town. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. Pete?
Thank you. As everyone has agreed, the report says yes, the numbers are up, but then this is a couple years old. The problem we have in this community is society as a whole we need to address this. We need to educate our children at an early age, and adults need to be good role models and explain the consequences of using alcohol. The use of alcohol in the South Bay, I mean, I've lived here all my life, and it's always been a problem. It was a problem growing up in Manhattan Beach. It's a problem in Manhattan Beach today. It's a problem in Hermosa Beach. If you look at this chart here, there's an area that basically the whole South Bay area has a problem. But we've increased our efforts. As a councilman, I voted, as Mr. DiGiulio pointed out, to tell the chief we want more enforcement. Don't be afraid to write the tickets. I would also like to have a ordinance modeled after Newport Beach, where there are a community the size of Hermosa, where parties that get out of control, you fine the homeowner $1,500, and every participant at that party can also be fined $1,500. You have to make it hurt. The fines have to hurt. And right now, the judicial system, the fines don't hurt. And until we make fines hurt, this will continue on. And I'm a staunch supporter of getting the alcohol under control. I'm also a supporter of what I call the creep, where restaurants come in and they want to swap maybe a TV or their hours for full alcohol, or take their increased occupancy and swap something. And to me, we don't need to ask for what I call the creep. We're not going to make deals for increased alcohol consumption. And just briefly, today in the Daily Breeze, the cities of Manhattan and Hermosa and El Segundo received a grant to run efforts to reduce sales of alcohols to minors. The three cities received a $50,000 grant. And also they ran a sting of people who, when teenagers stand outside a liquor store and ask an adult to buy liquor for them, they ran a sting and arrested quite a few people here. So it's one of these things that we as a society have to say enough is enough, and we have to be good role models and tell people the consequences. Just like smoking, eventually it catches up with you. So I'm a strong advocate of enforcement and education. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. Okay, we'll go to the next question, and this also deals with the same report. Hermosa Beach and Manhattan Beach were both listed as having high levels of alcohol outlet density, so number of alcohol outlets per